the seat sitting of YPS Kids Parliament, episode 6 today. My name is Rosemary Oseikofor. This is the Kids Parliament, where children's views are being observed and it's also taken into consideration. For you to be a child doesn't mean that you don't have opinion. Every child has an opinion, every child has an idea, and we need to always respect that. So today we have ministers in the body of children. They are coming to give problems and solutions that they have seen in their ministry and what they think that Ghana we should do to solve this issue. My name is still Rosemary Oseikofor and I enjoy the Kids Parliament. I hope you also enjoy it. Stay tuned and watch the Kids Parliament. We are proudly supported by the Blue First account by Stanbic Bank. Bank with Stanbic Bank and you will never regret. Stay tuned.
Almighty and merciful God, as we gather here today in this esteemed chamber, we humbly seek your guidance and wisdom. Grant us the clarity of mind to discern what is just and right, and the courage to uphold the values of truth, integrity, and compassion in all our deliberations and decisions. Bless each member of this assembly with the strength to serve our nation and its people with diligence and sincerity. May we approach our responsibilities with humility and a spirit of cooperation, mindful of the trust placed upon us by our fellow citizens. Grant us, O Lord, the ability to listen attentively, to speak with honesty and respect, and to act with wisdom and discernment. May your divine presence be felt among us. Honorable members, I extend a warm and a hearty welcome to each and everyone as we commence this extraordinary meeting of the 6th season of Kids Parliament. This meeting is to identify 3 major problems in your ministry and how it can be solved. Honorable members, we will proceed. Let's hear from the Honorable Minister for Education.
May you live long, Madam Speaker. Good morning, esteemed judges. Today I stand here before you to address the political and social issues that I face in my ministry, the Ministry of Education. My name is Ampeyo Chime and I am YP51. The triple challenge: access, equity, and quality. Globally, the crisis in education can be distilled into 3 interconnected challenges: access, equity, and quality. Despite strides, hundreds of millions of children and adolescents worldwide remain uneducated and not in school facilities. This is often exacerbated by conflict, climate crisis, and poverty, and geographical remoteness. A child's destiny shouldn't be determined by their postcode or their circumstances of birth. We must leverage technology and flexible learning models to reach every single child. Even for those in school, deep inequalities persist. Girls, children with disabilities, refugees, and marginalized communities often receive a subpar or interrupted education. We must commit to inclusive education, one that recognizes and supports the unique needs of every single learner across the world, ensuring true equality of opportunity, not just equality of enrollment. Perhaps the most urgent issue is the relevance of what we teach. Many systems are still focused on rote learning and outdated curricula. The world of work is rapidly changing, demanding skills like critical thinking, creativity, and digital literacy, and emotional intelligence. Our education systems must spread from merely transmitting knowledge to actively fostering these essential skills for future success. Addressing the educator crisis. We cannot discuss quality without addressing the heart of the system of our teachers. Globally, we face a looming teacher shortage, a lack of adequate training, and insufficient support for those on the front lines. To aid this, 1. We must elevate the status of the teaching profession, offering competitive salaries, continuous professional development, and the respect they deserve. We need to equip them with the tools and training to utilize digital technologies effectively and adapt their teaching to diverse learning styles. An investment in our teachers is an investment in our education. Our path forward toward innovation and collaboration. The problems are global as well as national, but the solutions must be locally driven and globally informed. The pandemic proved that blended learning is not a luxury but a necessity. We must invest in digital infrastructure and ensure affordable connectivity to bridge the digital divide. Our curriculum must be a living document, constantly updated to foster global citizenship, sustainability, and an understanding of complex global issues such as climate change and public health. We need to know how to think and not what to think. Government alone cannot solve this. We need robust partnerships with the private sector to match education to market needs, with NGOs for the on ground delivery, and with parents and communities to support learning at home. My commitment. Madam Speaker, I plead to lead this change. I will advocate for increased funding, champion innovative policies, and hold our system accountable to these global standards. Let us commit today a vision for future change to empower the minds and the global thinking of the future leaders of tomorrow. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, fellow ministers, and the youth of Ghana, I greet you all. It is a great honor to stand before you today as the Minister for Health. Today, I speak not only as a minister, but as a servant of the people, a servant for a vision of healthier, stronger, and more united Ghana. Madam Speaker, the health, the health of a nation is the wealth of a nation. Without good health, we cannot learn, work or build a strong country. As Minister for Health, my duty is to ensure that every citizen, young or old, has access to quality healthcare and lives in a clean and safe environment. The Ministry of Health is committed to promoting and protecting the physical, mental, and social well-being of every Ghanaian. However, like every institution, we face challenges that must be addressed with determination, creativity, and cooperation. Last month, I met Amina, a little girl from a small village. She had a fever that should have been treated easily, but the nearest clinic was a long walk away, and her mother had no money for transport. Amina missed school for weeks. Her smile dimmed. If you permit me, Madam Speaker, the first problem I would like to discuss is inadequate facilities and equipment. Many hospitals and clinics across the country lack modern medical equipment. In some rural areas like Amina's village, people travel long distances just to receive basic medical attention. This situation leads to delays in treatment and sometimes the loss of lives that could have been saved. Madam Speaker, Amina did not die, but it would interest you to know that approximately 70 to 80% of equipment in our health facilities are no longer functioning. In our facility readiness assessment, only 27% of assessed facilities reported ultrasound services and only 6% reported X-ray overall. To address this issue, Madam Speaker, the Ministry will strengthen its partnership with local and international health organizations such as the World Health Organization, USAID, to provide modern medical equipment and technology to hospitals and clinics. We will also expand the construction of community health centers and establish a mobile clinic in deprived rural areas to bring healthcare closer to people like Amina and others. To continue with, Madam Speaker, there is shortage of health professionals in Ghana. I bring to your attention that Ghana is experiencing a significant rate of health professional emigration, driven by poor working conditions, low salaries, and a search for better opportunities abroad. A recent data shows a high percentage of medical and nursing graduates leaving the country, with over 6,000 nurses relocating and 1,000 more seeking clearance to leave. This brain drain severely strains Ghana's healthcare system and threatens its ability to meet the health needs of its population. Madam Speaker, to stem the tide of health worker migration, my ministry will review and enhance the salary structure and allowances of doctors, nurses, and allied health workers to make them competitive and rewarding. We would also provide better working environments by investing in medical equipment, structures, and accommodation for health workers, especially in deprived and rural areas. In addition, we will work with training institutions to increase enrollment in medical and nursing schools to meet the growing health demand for healthcare professionals. Finally, Madam Speaker, my ministry faces financial and accountability challenges. Under my leadership, I have noticed some persistent audit infractions, uncontrolled recruitment of casual staff, using internally generated funds. Madam Speaker, we also discovered some hospitals also engage in fraudulent claims and illegal charges under the National Health Insurance Scheme, which was delaying and derailing the smooth implementation of the reviewed National Health Insurance Scheme service tariff. A typical example of this fraudulent act was captured in a clinical and compliance audit conducted at the Akim Over government in the Eastern region, which was an infraction of over 300 Ghana cedis received as claims. Madam Speaker, to get persistent audit infractions, I have established a central digital financial management system that tracks all hospitals' expenses and revenues in real time and ensure a station internal audit unit in all health facilities to submit quarterly financial report directly to my ministry and the Auditor General's Department. And finally, Madam Speaker, we would also conduct a periodic compliance audit and publish findings to ensure transparency. In conclusion, Madam Speaker, health is the foundation upon which a prosperity is built. The Ministry of Health is committed to improving delivery and ensuring that every Ghanaian, young or old, rich or poor, has access to quality health services. As the Minister for Health, I pledge to work tirelessly with all stakeholders to build a strong, efficient, and people-centered health system. Let us remember that good health is not only an individual responsibility, but a national priority. As the I am Sabir Ibrahim Isaka, YP26, your Minister for Health. May, may, may long live the Ministry of Health and may God bless our homeland Ghana. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Madam Speaker. May you live long. My name is Timiru Agumbi, the Minister of Tourism, and today I'm here to present three main problems my ministry is facing and how we can solve these problems to make tourism in Ghana better. Tourism is very important for our country. It brings visitors from all over the world to see our beaches, our history, and our wildlife. But to keep attracting visitors, we must take good care of our tourist sites. The first problem I want to speak about is littering our tourist sites. Madam Speaker, many visitors and even some citizens drop rubbish on our beaches, in our parks, and around our important heritage places. This makes our environment dirty and can harm animals and sea life. What can we do? We will place more rubbish bins at major tourist sites. We will also create exciting Keep Ghana Clean campaigns, especially for children. And we will train workers and guides to help remind visitors to protect our environment. Next is damage to nature and wildlife. Beautiful places like Kakum National Park and Moli National Park sometimes receive too many visitors at once. This can scare animals away and destroy plants. We can solve this problem by introducing clear rules for how visitors should behave in these protected areas. We will train more professional guides who understand conversation, and we will build safe walking paths to make sure people enjoy nature without destroying it. Madam Speaker, lastly but not the least is the fact that our local communities are not benefiting enough from our tourist sites. Sometimes the money from tourists the money tourists spend does not reach the people living near the tourist sites. Local sellers, guides, and small businesses are often left out. I propose the following solutions. We will support local artisans, local tour guides, and small hotels. We will also encourage tour guides to buy Ghana-made products like crafts, foods, and souvenirs. so that more families in our communities can earn a living. Honorable members, remember tourism is not just about visitors. It's about creating jobs, supporting families, and celebrating our beautiful Ghana. If we keep our tourist sites clean, and protect our forests, animals, and make sure communities benefit, Ghana will shine even brighter on the world stage. Thank you, Madam Speaker and honorable members.
Madam Speaker, may you live long. Respected judges, distinguished guests, members of this Kids Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Maria Abdul Razak, Minister for Aviation. My nominee code is YP35. As the Minister for Aviation, I am honored to address you today on the state of Ghana's aviation sector. Aviation is the sky bridge that connects our nation into the world. It remains its vital pillar of our national development, supporting tourism, trade, and connectivity. As we expand our ambitions in this sector, it is important to acknowledge the challenges we face and present a clear path towards resolving them. The major challenge in this sector is that some of our airports are old. Their buildings, runways, and machines used to guide planes need repairs and new parts. Because of this, work at the airports becomes slow and not always comfortable for passengers. Secondly, Madam Speaker, inadequate capital input is that we do not have enough money to fix or improve these airports. Aviation needs a lot of support to stay safe and grow. But sometimes the money available is not enough to meet all the needs. In addition to the above, Madam Speaker, some of our workers in the aviation sector need more training, emerging technologies, modern aircraft systems, and global safety standards require continuous training, but many professionals lack access to specialized courses and modernized training facilities. In response to these challenges, Honorable Speaker, practical and sustainable solutions are proposed. For infrastructure, the ministry seeks to deepen partnerships and sustainable partnerships and work with private investors and frameworks to repair and improve our terminals, runways, and equipment. This will expand our capacity and enhance safety. Regarding funding, Madam Speaker, the ministry intends to restructure revenue channels within the aviation sector, look for new ways to raise money, and also seek support for important repairs and upgrades. This will help us keep our airports running well. Finally, Madam Speaker, to address workforce limitations, there is a need for a comprehensive training agenda that includes scholarship, international collaboration, and the establishment of a modern aviation training center. This will equip our staffs with the skills required to match global standards and maintain the trust of airlines and passengers alike. But as Speaker, with these steps, we believe our aviation sector can improve and grow stronger with the support of the government. We can build a future where our skies remain safe and open for all. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, honorable members of Parliament, cabinet ministers, ladies and gentlemen, I greet you all. I am Honorable Kamela Impimasandoa, the Minister for Communications and Digitalization in Ghana. My ministry is the main hub for all of Ghana's technology and communication network. Madam Speaker,
We live in a modern era where internet, technology are everything to education to even hospitals. Madam Speaker, a major issue my ministry faces today is slow internet and poor network coverage. Many villages and towns in our country still suffer weak or no internet at all. This affects everything they do from education to their communication to their education. Madam Speaker, I believe that we can resolve this issue by constructing more cell towers, especially in villages and small towns. We can partner with private telecommunication companies to expand network coverage across the country. Doing this will curb this issue. Madam Speaker, I also recognize that the high cost of internet data remains a major challenge to achieving Ghana's goal of becoming a fully digital economy. Internet bundles are extremely expensive in Ghana, making it difficult for especially students and small businesses owners to purchase. We live in an era where schooling is all about internet research, and even businesses have taken a virtual approach. I bring to your attention that even 10 CD cannot get you 1 gig from MTN. Madam Speaker, we are working through the Nation Communication Authority, also called the NCA. The NCA will make sure phone companies do not charge too much money for data. With more companies compete fairly, data prices will go down and everyone can afford the internet. Madam Speaker, another major issue we face in this country today is cybersecurity and online fraud. The rate at which people are being scammed and hacked has become alarming. People are getting used to doing things online. Payment of fees, online businesses, transactions, and use of cards to purchase items outside the country. Doing things online is faster and easier, but certain people have made it unsecure and instill fear in people. Madam Speaker, to effectively tackle this challenge, my ministry through the Cybersecurity Authority will intensify monitoring of online activities and ensure that all digital platforms follow national security standards. Additionally, Madam Speaker, my ministry will continue educate Ghanaians, especially the youth, on how to stay safe online. We are even planning to form a police team to arrest online scammers. Madam Speaker, fellow ministers, I honor this office given to me and pledge to build a digital Ghana. I believe that when we work together, these issues would become the matters of the past. I am Honorable Kamala Impima Sandoa, your Minister for Communications and Digitalization. Long live Madam Speaker, and God bless our homeland Ghana. Thank you. Greetings, Madam Speaker, honorable members of Parliament, and my dear audience. Good day. My name is Honorable Sarah Nicole Wilson. My code is YPS42, and I am the Minister for Information. My duty is to make sure the right messages are shared with everyone, both inside and outside our ministry. But my ministry is facing some problems. I will talk about few problems and how we can solve them. Madam Speaker, the Ministry for Information is the bridge between the government and the people. But even the strongest bridge can weaken if truth, transparency, and communication are not upheld. Allow me to outline three problems that threaten this vital link and how we are addressing them. To begin with, spread of fake news. Madam Speaker, false information spreads faster than truth. And in this digital age, one lie can destroy trust built over years. Some argue that fake news is harmless gossip, but we know better. Fake news can cause panic, damage reputations, and even influence elections. For instance, Madam Speaker, in 2021, Shatawale staged a shooting incident where he and his team spread fake news that he was attacked by unknown gunmen. This information caused fear and panic, which led to his arrest. In solving this issue, my ministry is launching a national truth awareness campaign, teaching citizens how to verify information before sharing it. I have also personally directed the Cybersecurity Authority to offer training for personnel of the National Commission for Civic Education to educate Ghanaians at large on the new Cybersecurity Act 2020. Madam Speaker, we are also working with media houses to fact-check stories. Freedom of speech must come with responsibility for speech. Secondly, inadequate access to information in rural areas. Madam Speaker, it would interest you that in this 21st century, many communities still depend on word of mouth for important updates. Some say it is enough for people in cities to know government plans, but I strongly disagree. Every citizen, rich or poor, urban or rural, deserves equal access to information. Madam Speaker, to improve the situation, we are expanding community radio stations and creating local information centers in each district. These centers will share updates in local languages so that every Ghanaian can understand government initiatives and make informed decisions. Madam Speaker, I believe Ghana is developing steadily. Some communities and villages in Ghana do not have access to electricity, thereby hindering access to digital infrastructure. Fortunately, today, this August has had the Energy Minister, Honorable Clenam Adeti, YP41, and Minister for Communication and Digitalization, Honorable Kamela Sandowa, YP3. We would meet after today's sitting and see how best we can fast track the development agenda in those areas. Finally, weak communication between government and citizens. Madam Speaker, communication is not just about talking, it is about listening. Too often, the government speaks to the people, not with them. Some say citizens do not understand policies, but maybe the real problem is that we do not explain them clearly enough. To address this challenge, we will hold community meetings and open discussions with citizens, use social media platforms, and simplify policy explanations into everyday language. When the people understand what government is doing, they can hold us accountable, and that is how democracy grows strong. We would also employ the National Commission for Civic Education to help propagate this gospel by engaging the rural communities more on government policies. In conclusion, Madam Speaker, a nation that communicates honestly is a nation that unites. Let us build a Ghana where information employs, not misleads, where every citizen has the right to know and the power to speak. I am Honorable Sarah Nicole Wilson, YP42. Your Honorable Minister for Information. Long live Ghana. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, may you live long. Esteemed members of Parliament, Cabinet Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, I rise to brief you on three pressing challenges
confronting the Ministry of Defense and to propose concrete remedies. Madam Speaker, it's humanly impossible to have a problem-free institution, and the Ministry of Defense is not in isolation. There's a challenge of human resource gaps and low morale. The mode of recruiting personnel has been monitored, subjecting our human resource to a gradual breakdown. Training capacity is limited and retention of skilled personnel remains a major concern due to skilled personnel leaving the shores of Ghana for greener pasture. Archaic or old-fashioned equipment and poor maintenance is another challenge facing my ministry. Many of our aircraft, naval vessels and ground assets have outlived their service life. Some are dead traps and the operational ones are poorly maintained. A critical example is the 8 heroes who lost on Sheet August 2025 as a result of poor maintenance of the helicopter. May God rest their souls. Madam Speaker, the last but not least problem is galamsey crisis being a major social canker. The ministry has been forced to divert troops to Operation North and deploy naval boats to stop illegal mining and strengthen its manpower and logistics. However, the challenges, Madam Speaker, the ministry has fashioned out lasting solutions to the problems. Regarding the human resource gaps, we will implement a reverse career progression scheme, increase allowances for specialized trade and expand partnership with local universities and training centers to broaden talent horizon. Also, in combating galamsey, we intend to have an integrated task force by combining military, police and environmental agencies to tackle galamsey. Madam Speaker, we also intend to issue a multi-year contract to strategically acquire equipment and logistics through loans and acquire a long-term maintenance package and training program to sustain readiness. Madam Speaker, these are major problems facing my ministry with lasting solutions to curb it. I am Honorable Kwesi and Tsunami Abwaji Eso, your Honorable Minister for the West, with the code YP23. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, may you live long. I am Honorable Clenam Adeti Dr. Ayla with the YPS code 42, the Minister for Energy. Madam Speaker, I am grateful for the opportunity to address this honorable House on matters relating to the energy sector of our country. The Ministry of Energy continues to work tirelessly to ensure a reliable, affordable, and sustainable supply of power to all Ghanaians. Madam Speaker, despite our efforts, the sector continues to face certain challenges that require collective attention and support from this honorable House. Allow me to highlight three major issues and the measures being taken to address them. First, the challenge of inconsistent power supply in some parts of the country. This is largely due to aging transmission infrastructure and the growing demand for power. Madam Speaker, my ministry is implementing projects to expand and modernize our transmission network while increasing investment in renewable energy sources such as solar and wind energy to complement existing generation capacity. Secondly, the high cost of electricity remains a concern for many households and industries. To address this, Madam Speaker, the ministry is working to increase the use of natural gas from our domestic fuels, reduce dependence on imported fuels, and improve efficiency across the power value chain to make electricity more affordable. Thirdly, rural electrification continues to pose a challenge. Many remote many remote communities still lack access to electricity. Madam Speaker, the ministry, through the Rural Electrification Program and Solar Mini Grid initiatives, is partnering with local and international agencies to ensure that no community is left behind in our national energy drive. Madam Speaker, in conclusion, I wish to assure this honorable House that the Ministry of Energy remains committed to achieving universal access to reliable and sustainable power, which is key to Ghana's industrial growth and development. We will continue to collaborate with Parliament and all stakeholders to make this vision a reality. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I am Honorable Clenam Adeti, Dr. Ayla, the YPS Code 42. I am your Minister for Energy.
Madam Speaker, may you live long. I am Marilyn Adobiabe-Quinn, the Minister for Food and Agriculture. Our ministry carries the heartbeat of our nation, because when agriculture thrives, our people are nourished, our economy grows. I will address three major problems confronting our ministry and strategic solutions. First, low productive due to poor farming practices. Many of our farmers still rely on traditional tools and outdated farm methods. Limited access to quality seeds, fertilizers, and modern technology. To address this, my ministry is making modern equipment accessible through affordable leasing. We are also enhancing the Planting for Food and Jobs initiative to supply improved seeds and fertilizers. Again, post-harvest losses. Each year, Ghana loses nearly 30% of its harvest due to poor storage and transportation. This is not just the loss of food, it is the loss of farmers' hard working and national incomes. My ministry is constructing community-based warehouse and cold storage facilities across major farming zones. We are collaborating with private investors to improve rural roads and transportation network. To end with limited access to agriculture financing. Many of our farmers, especially smallholders and youth, struggle to access loans and for input and machineries. Financial institutions often see agriculture as high risk. To solve this, the ministry is introducing agriculture credit guarantee scheme to support farmers with low interest loans and insurance covers. Madam Speaker, as Minister for Food and Agriculture, I am committed to build a modern, resilient and sustainable agriculture sector that fits our nation and secures the future of our farmers. Thank you.
May you live long, Madam Speaker. Good morning, Madam Speaker, judges, fellow participants, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mina Ikia Canton and I'm YP32. Today, I stand before you today as the Finance Minister of the Republic of Ghana. The financial sector of our nation plays a central role in our growth and development. It supports businesses, enables investment, encourages savings, and promotes trade and economic stability. In Ghana, our financial sector includes banks, credit unions, insurance companies, amongst others. Madam Speaker,
Madam Speaker, it is a very important sector because it affects how businesses grow, how families survive, and how a country develops. However, the financial sector also has challenges that must be addressed if we want a strong economic progress. One major problem in the financial sector is limited financial literacy. Many people still do not understand how loans work and how to save or how to invest. Because of this, they end up making poor financial decisions. Some and others Some fall into debt while others avoid financial system altogether. Again, Madam Speaker, another major problem facing the finance sector in Ghana is high interest rates. Many small businesses want to borrow money, but the cost of borrowing is too high. This makes it difficult for entrepreneurs to grow and families to meet their needs. There is also a problem of trust. Some people do not trust banks because of the past experiences with collapsed institutions, hidden charges, or poor customer service. Another major problem in the financial sector is high ratings of cybercrime and fraud. People constantly prey on the naive and illiterate class and fraud them of their life savings or the very little money in their accounts. Madam Speaker, all these issues are badly affecting the economy of our country. And as a developing country, our financial sector must strive for us to have good economic stability, progress, and growth. And as a finance minister, these are some solutions that I believe that if they were implemented and followed through to the end, there will be a great improvement in the financial sector. First of all, Madam Speaker, one solution to the problem in the financial sector is that we need financial literacy. We need financial knowledge should be taught in schools, community centers, and every possible platform within our reach, either physical or through the media. When people understand how money and finance work, I believe strongly that they can manage it better. Again, Madam Speaker, banks and government institutions can create programs that reduce borrowing risk. When the risk is low, interest rates come down and microfinance groups and cooperatives can also provide fair lending options. Banks must clearly explain their fees, their services, and their policies. Customer service must be improved. When people trust the system, they are most likely to use it. Finally, Madam Speaker, we must address the rise of fraud and cybercrime. As banking becomes more digital, criminals also find new ways to trick people. To address this, we need stronger cyber security. We need better identity verification methods and public awareness about digital safety. Madam Speaker, the financial sector is essential to the national growth but faces challenges that require collective action. Through education, fair lending, transparency, technology, and strong security, we can build a financial system that supports every citizen and strengthens our economy. A strong financial sector means a strong nation. Thank you.
All right, the kids' parliament is getting more interesting. Ministers are giving us back to back of their problems and how they want to solve it. I believe you are enjoying it in the house and you can't wait to bring your child. Just call us on the number on your TV set to register your child. In fact, we take children between 6 to 60 years and they are all qualified to join us. I am Rosemary Oseko. We'll go for a short break. When we come back, another set of ministers will be seated. See you.
Good afternoon,
everyone. Madam Speaker, may you live long. Madam Speaker, my name is Honorable Alba Anyamaka. I am Minister for Interior. That means I help ensure internal security, maintain law and order, and protect life and property for all Ghanaians. Today, I want to tell you about 3 problems my ministry is facing and what we are doing to solve them. Our first problem, there are too many accidents and fires. Sometimes people drive too fast or forget the road rules. Those causes accidents. And when people forget to turn off the fire or to turn off the gas or play with fire, houses and markets catch fire. Our solution, we are teaching people how to stay safe, how to cross roads carefully, and how to drive safely, and how to handle fires at home. We are also giving our fire services more fire tools and fire trucks so they can come quickly when there's an emergency. Our second problem, there are not enough police officers in some areas. In some towns and villages, there are not enough police officers, and that makes it hard to stop bad people from doing wrong things. Our solution, we are training more police officers and building more police stations so that every community can feel safe. We also want people to become friends with the police, because when we work together, we can stop crime faster. Our third problem, natural disasters like floods. When it rains a lot, some places get flooded and people lose their homes and things. Our solution, we are planting more trees, cleaning more gutters, and helping people move to safer areas. We are also teaching everyone how to get ready before the rain starts, so we can protect our families and homes. My conclusion, my dream is for Ghana to be a country where everyone feels safe in their homes, on the roads, and in their communities. When we work together, government, police, fire service, and citizens, Ghana will always be safe, peaceful, and strong. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, may you live long. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and all in here present. I am Honorable Adelaide Akosia Kofa Osafo. I am the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection. I am YP28. Madam Speaker, as the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, my primary responsibility is to promote equality, protect the vulnerable, and ensure that every Ghanaian enjoys dignity, opportunity, and security. I believe that Ghana can only achieve true development when every individual is empowered to reach their full potentials regardless of their age, gender, or social background. To help Ghana improve, I must address the key challenges affecting every citizen, whether a child or an elderly, and disadvantaged groups. Madam Speaker, one of the major problems Ghana faces today is gender inequality. Women play vital roles in our economy and communities. They face barriers in education, employment, and decision-making. Women lack access to land and training opportunities. that could help them become financially independent. As a minister for gender, children, and social protection, I will work to promote equal opportunities for women and men by expanding women's empowerment. Madam Speaker, another serious challenge is gender-based violence such as domestic abuse, sexual assault, and child marriage. Victims suffer in silence due to stigma and enforcement of the law. Madam Speaker, to address this, I will strengthen the implementation of Domestic Violence Act, establish more shelters and support centers. Initiatives such as the Livelihood Empowerment Against Poverty programs and the school feeding program reach thousands of households, but their effectiveness can be enhanced. Digitizing payment systems, ensuring timely disbursement, and linking beneficiaries to jobs and skill training will make these programs more sustainable and impactful. Madam Speaker, special attention must also be given to persons with disability by improving accessibility, enforcing disability rights laws, and expanding opportunities for inclusive employment. When social protection systems and no effective Ghanaian is left behind. Madam Speaker, additionally, enhancing support for vulnerable population is key to the national improvement. Groups such as street children, kayaye, single mothers, widows, and the elderly requires targeted intervention to break cycles of poverty and marginalization. Establishment of shelters providing psychosocial support, offering vocational training, and integrating beneficiaries into community systems can help restore hope and stability. Madam Speaker, social workers must also be equipped with the training resources and digital tools. They need to carry out their duties effectively. Madam Speaker, finally, collaboration, transparency, and public awareness must guide all efforts. Effective social protection is not achieved by government alone. It requires partnership with civil society, religious institutions, traditional authorities, and international organizations. Madam Speaker, where there is a will, there is a way. As a sector minister for gender, children, and social protection, I will make all these challenges a thing of a past. Madam Speaker, may your reign be successful. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, may you live long. Madam Speaker, I am Honorable Kyla Aye, YP27, the Minister for Justice and Attorney. Madam Speaker, Justice Georgina Theodora Wood once reminded this nation that the strength of any justice system lies in the trust its people place in it. Today, that truth confronts us more urgently than ever. Madam Speaker, I rise today to outline 3 critical challenges facing our justice sector and to present clear, practical solutions aimed at restoring confidence, strengthening institutions, and upholding the rule of law that protects every Ghanaian. Madam Speaker, point 1, judicial credibility and public trust, a question of integrity. Madam Speaker, recent national conversations, especially during the parliamentary vetting of judicial nominees, have revealed growing public concern about transparency and integrity in judicial appointments. The public debate surrounding Justice Tokonu's vetting, where issues of impartiality, past rulings, and perceived political alignment were rigorously questioned, reflects a deep-seated anxiety that justice in Ghana must not only be done, but must be seen to be done. The erosion of public trust in judicial appointments has become a silent menace, eaten at the very heart of our democracy. This challenge undermines confidence in the very courts meant to defend justice and uphold the rule of law. To tackle this menace and restore public trust, we propose the establishment of an independent judicial vetting review committee separate from executive and parliamentary influence, to assess nominees strictly on merit, ethical record, and competence. Mandatory assets and conflict of interest declarations for all nominees prior to appointment. A public performance evaluation framework for judges every 5 years to promote transparency, accountability, and continuous trust building. Madam Speaker, when the robe of justice is stained with suspicion, the fabric of our democracy begins to tear. Madam Speaker, point 2, case backlogs and systemic delays. Madam Speaker, as we speak, thousands of cases remain unresolved across our courts. Many remand prisoners have spent years awaiting trial, while civil cases, particularly land inheritance disputes, linger endlessly. The slow pace of justice not only burdens citizens, but also increases prison congestion and weakens faith in due process. To tackle this, our ministry is proposing a nationwide call to digitalization and case tracking system to streamline filing, scheduling, and judgment access. The, the deployment of mobile court sittings to remote districts to handle minor cases swiftly. Expansion of alternative dispute resolution programs at the community level to reduce court dependency. Justice delayed, Madam Speaker, must never again mean justice denied. Madam Speaker, point 3. Emerging legal challenges, cybercrime and climate justice. Madam Speaker, Ghana is also grappling with new global realities, cybercrime and climate-related disputes. Cyber fraud cases continue to rise, damaging our international reputation and costing citizens millions of cedis. At the same time, issues of illegal mining, environmental degradation, and climate-related displacement are bringing new legal complexities before our courts. To respond, we as ministry propose a cybercrime and environmental justice task force, uniting prosecutors, environmental agencies, and digital experts to handle such cases efficiently. Continuous capacity training for prosecutors and judges on environmental and cyber laws, and the drafting of a climate responsibility bill, which will hold corporations and individuals legally accountable for ecological harm. Madam Speaker, as crime and climate evolve, so must our law and our conscience. To conclude, Madam Speaker, our justice system stands at crossroads. The vetting controversies have reminded us that justice must remain beyond politics. The case backlogs warn us that system must be modernized, and the new legal frontiers show that Ghana's judiciary must rise to meet global standards. In the words of Kwame Nkrumah, freedom is meaningless unless it is linked with justice. Therefore, let us not only defend the law, let us dignify it, for in building a just nation, we preserve the very soul of Ghana. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, may you live long. Honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, I greet you all. I am Honorable Guinevere Bruce-Kwanzaa, Minister for STEM Education. Today, I stand on this great platform to brief you on the numerous benefits and also some challenges STEM education encounters. As the Minister for STEM Education, my work is to make sure science, technology, engineering, and mathematics help build a better future for our country. But like every ministry, we also face some problems. Let me share 3 of them and what we are doing to solve them. To start with, lack of practical tools and labs. Many schools do not have science labs or computers for students to learn by doing. In solving this, Madam Speaker, we are working with companies and organizations to provide science kits, computers, and small labs for schools, especially in rural areas. This will help students see and practice what they learn. Secondly, not enough trained teachers. Some schools do not have teachers who understand modern subjects like coding and robotics.
To solve this issue, Madam Speaker, we are organizing training programs and giving awards to those who teach STEM in hard-to-reach areas. Finally, Madam Speaker, low interest in STEM, especially among girls. Many students think STEM is too hard or only for boys. Now, to solve this problem, Madam Speaker, we are starting STEM clubs and science fairs to make learning fun and to show that everyone, boys and girls, can be great scientists and engineers. In conclusion, Madam Speaker, STEM education is the key to our country's progress. When we invest in science and technology, we invest in our future leaders and innovators. Thank you.